Hey guys, this is Sun11 Solaire, known as Arctic Salamander on YouTube, and I'd just like to talk about a few things with this ambient gameplay. You don't need to really watch, but this is just in case you don't have anything to do while listening to me. Um, I might do some more of these post-gameplay commentary things at some point, but what I really wanted to talk about was manners in Dark Souls. There is the whole thing of letting your opponent buff, no healing, uh, all these sorts of things. And I believe that these are perfectly fine to try and enforce in duels. In invasions, I think that everything goes as long as what you're using is in the game itself. I also would like to just say really quick that that parry spam though, fucking Arbiter Spirits. Not Arbiter Spirits, fucking people who wear havels up to the fucking neck. Um, anyway. What was I on? Oh yeah, in Invasions, anything goes as long as it was in the game. I don't condone hacking, and I don't condone disconnecting. At least not in the traditional sense, where you just fucking dashboard, close the application, whatever you want to call it. I do not condone either of those things. What I do condone, however, is if you manage if you invade someone and things aren't going your way, you don't want to risk losing your souls, or say you're doing a no-death run and you don't want that to invalidate your no-death run. I don't know why you'd be invading people on a no-death run, but if you can manage to get away from the person you invaded when things aren't going your way and manage to Black Crystal out, that's allowed. I'd be pissed off, but it's allowed. I'm not going to make insinuations about how terrible of a person you are, or get pissy about, you know, not following the rules, because there are no rules. It's in the game, people are going to use it. And that's basically my mood for this whole thing. In duels, in fight clubs, whatever, people can use whatever they want. I honestly believe if someone manages to get a healing spell off in the arena, you weren't doing your job of keeping them from healing. Unless, of course, they were using warmth, but in that case, you can just as easily exploit that. And this guy, I don't like this guy's playstyle, but I'm not mad at him at it because it must work some of the time if he's using it. Freaking just lingering flame and toxic mist annoys me, but it's not that bad because look at how quickly he died. There really are just a number of things in Dark Souls that, like, the cult of no healing. People who think that you shouldn't heal during PvP at all. That's ridiculous. Like, I could have just gotten killed in a boss fight with the Ancient Dragon. I'll be on my way back to grab my souls, and then I'll get invaded. And the dude invading me, he'll get close to killing me, and I'll end up healing because I don't want to lose those fucking souls. And he'll get really pissy at me about how I healed. I'll just tell him, hey, you invaded my world. I didn't ask for you to come here. I didn't ask to fight you. You invaded my world. I didn't disconnect. I didn't cheat. I used what was given to me. And if you're going to get pissy about that and say that I lost when you invaded in an area that has hostile NPCs and didn't exploit that to your usage, fuck you. I'm the one still standing. You're the one that lost. And I know that people are going to get pissy and argue against me, saying that, oh, by like the rules of the game, by proper PvP etiquette, you're the one that lost. Yeah, whatever you want to say, for duel etiquette, that's what I call it. But, and I'll behave that way when I'm an invader too. If I'm an invader and I'm trying to kill you, my only goal is to kill you. I do not care about honor or anything like that. If I invade you, my goal is your death. Unless I invade a fight club, in which case I will get more souls by participating in the fight club. My goal is your death. I will heal, I will run away and use enemy NPCs to try and beat you. Because that is my goal. And you can summon phantoms to help you. I mean, I'll find it annoying, but then again, I think anyone that had an advantage swept out from under them would find it annoying. Another thing that I've got to complain about is, in Dark Souls and Bloodborne, this is completely unrelated. This is just something for Dark Souls 2. The PvP meta. Meta, however the fuck you want to say it. 150. People say it's 150. And I could see that for NG, but an NG plus level doesn't matter. It's all soul memory. All of it. The only reason the meta existed in the first place was for people to get to a level where they can find other players that want to PvP. In Dark Souls 2, they solved that for us. The more you play the game, the more you'll find people that have played the game on that level. And yeah, a bunch of people will say, well, the escape ring makes it so that you don't gain any more soul memory. Yeah, use that when you're on a character that you only want to PvP against people that have gotten so far in the game. That's fine. But if it's not going to make it any easier for me to connect to people in general, on a general PvP character, I'm not using that fucking escape ring. I want the souls that I get from winning. I want to be able to buy more supplies like repair powder, amber herbs, shit like that. It helps me, so I'm going to fucking buy that shit. And here's that little clip there. I fucked up the riposte, but I did make the most of it by doing a 2-swing combo and then getting them with a spell, so I got roughly the same amount of damage with the blue flame. Not great critical damage, but damn does it pack a punch. Yeah, the meta in Dark Souls 2 is completely, it's all just someone's honor code that Dark Souls never really agreed upon. The only reason it exists is because people don't want to accept that if you continue to play the game and level up further, then that's just, you're going to get better stats. I mean, yeah, I do agree that in certain ways I do like to challenge myself. I'll create novelty builds, but and if I can manage to kill someone without getting hit, I mean, that doesn't matter what level I was then, because I could have gotten those damage stats with only like 10 vigor. If you didn't manage to hit me, then it doesn't matter how much health or anything like that I had. But that's not to say that if I get that I want to make a build where I only have like 5 HP and if you hit me I die. No, I'm going to take every advantage I can get that is given to me. But the meta for Bloodborne, first of all, I really don't think that that should be a confirmed thing yet. I mean, how long did it take to establish the meta for Dark Souls 1? I think a lot longer than just, like, Ouroboros tried to establish it before the fucking thing even came out. And I'm not trying to say, oh, Ouroboros sucks or anything. I'm actually a big fan of Ouroboros the Ninja. But, I mean, overstepping your bounds there, dude. The community decides what the meta is. The community does. And even then, the meta can be overlooked by individuals. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about, is just the etiquette of Dark Souls doesn't really make sense, at least in Dark Souls 2. Actually, in no Souls game has it really made all that much sense, because in Dark Souls 2, yeah, the host can heal, but you as an invader, unless the host fucking wiped out every enemy on the map, you can go find more enemies, and you can use them to back you up. It's just like, oh, but if you don't have a healing spell, then you can't heal. Yeah, that's your fault for not investing in those stats. And, well, what if they have phantoms? They can just gang up on you further. Well, unless the phantoms have healing spells, then they can't heal either. They have no way to heal. And if they do have healing spells, good for them. They planned that shit out. But I don't think anyone really has the right to dictate how other players play a game. In Dark Souls 1, there was the whole phantoms could heal using humanity fully, actually. It was even more fair, or not more fair, but you could actually heal more off of a single humanity than you could by chugging all of your Estus. And I don't like it when people tell other players how to play the game, because when I first played Dark Souls 1 and there were people just saying, like, whenever I would heal, hey dude, don't heal in PvP. It's pretty rude, actually. I'd just be like, oh, thanks, I didn't know that. And then later on, I would find people who would heal, and I would just use humanity against them. And then I would tell them, hey dude, you're not supposed to heal. And they would just be like, well, you can heal too, so I don't see the problem with it. And I was just like, huh, that's actually pretty interesting. Same with the fact that players didn't like it whenever I would turtle behind a shield. Never do that anymore, but back then, I would just turtle behind a shield all the time. And players would get mad at me for it, saying, hey dude, why don't you actually fight me? Or, hey, why don't you stop casting spells every 2 goddamn seconds? And I would just be like, well, I'm just using what the game gave me. Same with Estus and healing. And when people put down red summon signs and get ganked as a result, they'll get mad about it, understandably. Saying, oh dude, I just wanted to duel or whatever. And there's a covenant that makes it so that you can't summon the hostile player if you have any other phantom in your world, red or not. And it's the dragon remnants. Why don't you just join them if you only want to duel? Well, I like fight clubs too. Guess what? You can get ganked in a fight club. It's really not a safe place for you just because you want it to be. And I uploaded a video not too long ago called Dark Souls 2 Gankers Pay the Price, in which I actually show myself taking on gankers and not only winning, coming out with flying fucking colors. I heal, I run away, I use enemies to my advantage. You know why? Because I'm going to take every fucking advantage I can fucking get. It is so satisfying. Because when you get ganked, you can easily get your souls back. I mean, there's not really that much of a problem with it. And not only that, but when you lose, you know you lost, or at least you might try to tell yourself this. I don't personally know your skills of gaming, people. But you try to tell yourself that you lost because they outnumbered you. And yeah, that could be the whole reason, actually. But if you win, you won. Because you outsmarted and outplayed them. You are the better player in that example. Maybe they got overconfident because they had so many numbers. Maybe something went wrong and you ended up pushing them off a cliff. I don't know. I don't care. But if you get ganked and get killed, you don't feel bad. But if you get ganked and win, you feel amazing. So I really don't have any problem with people violating the so-called manners of Dark Souls. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say to you guys. Arctic Salamander out. Praise the sun, motherfuckers. Peace!